Hi, my name is Nikita Bentley, and I'm doing this project for college success. And right now, I'm interviewing Miss Shantae Tipton. She was a former director for the YMCA for the Go program. In her field, she also goes to TCC, and her field is childcare, which is what I am interested in. So I have a few questions for you, Shantae. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Shantae, and I work with children. I've been working with children since I was 18, and I'm 41 right now. Um, yeah.
Mm. Well, you already did answer my first question. Was when did you start working with kids? So I'll just go on to ask, what made you continue working with kids?
Well, my brother had a few kids, and I didn't want them to go to a center by themselves, so that encouraged me to go so I would know what was going on. And then I started having kids, and I just always went with my kids. I was one of the perks of working with kids. You could always stay with your kids.
Okay, now to my next question. If you worked for the YMCA or only childcare, what would you be doing during this time during COVID? What would you be doing different?
If I was working with children right now,
Mhm.
I would really push the mask situation, just so everyone's safe. Just to remember, like, there's older people at home, grandparents and stuff like that. It might not affect the kids as fast as it does other people, but just really pushing that and um, sending that message home with the kids so they can push it with their parents.
Okay, so my next question is, have a parent or child ever said something that just shocked you where you didn't know how to handle the situation? And if it has happened, how did you handle that situation?
Um, I'm sure it has. I just can't think of a time just right off right now. I would think of a time with one of my personal kids before I would think of a time where I, like, you know, didn't know what to do with other kids because of just the continue of training. Um, I would have to think about that one. That's a good one. Can we come back to that one at the end?
Yeah, we can
Okay.
come back to that one. Um, what do you love about childcare?
Being able to contribute to our future.
That's a good. That's a good answer. Um, have you ever wanted to do something different?
Um, it's one of the things. It's just like you're having a bad day, where your boss kind of made you mad, or your employees are not doing what you asked, and you're just like, oh my gosh, do I really want to do this? But when I really sit down and think about it, no, I don't want to do anything else other than this, because this is what my purpose is.
Okay, what are some words of wisdom you would like to leave this interview with?
A long time ago, I got this poem from some, I don't remember who it was from, but the words were so powerful on it. I just never forgot it. It doesn't matter what house you have, or how big your house is, or how new your car is, or how much money is in your bank account. What really matters is the difference you made in a young person.
Okay. And as I promised, we do have to go back to question 3. Has a kid ever said something shocking?
Yes. Yes. Um, oh, I was young. I didn't even have kids yet, so I would have been about 19 maybe. And it was an Asian child, and he told me that I was not Caucasian, that I was African American, but he used other words that weren't very nice. And that was the first time I ever had to deal with like a kid telling me that, like talking like down to me as far as a race. And I didn't handle it bad. I was just like, oh, I'm telling your parents, you know. So I had a motto though, that if a kid did something wrong at school, like
Mm-hmm.
when they were with me, when their parent would get there, we're gonna tell your parent together. That way, you can't go home and tell a whole nother story, and then they don't get my story, and then all they're feeding off is what that child said, and then it gets really ugly really fast. I've probably done that because I've lived by that for a long time. I just don't remember the situation.
That's funny because you trained me, and that's something that I picked up really fast. Is if we do it together, you just avoid all situations.
Yes.
But I like to do it with the supervisor, but you're usually the supervisor,
Yes.
so it's different.
It's one of them things when you do it, you start getting, it gets easier.
Yeah, it does.
It's hard the first time because it's awkward. But I always suggest if you're talking to a parent, whether it be good or bad, always do the taco method where it's good, what happened, and then something good.
Yeah.
So you're balancing it out and they're not hearing just negative, 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 because then parents get defensive and it can get ugly pretty fast.
Do you see the change in their face when that happens? Like
Oh,
at
yes.
first they're like, why is this woman coming to talk to me? And then they look at the kid, why you do that? And
Yeah.
then it's either gonna be, oh, I'll handle it when I go home, or it's a, oh, I don't really care.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have to remember that parents are human. So we don't know what they've been through.
Hmm.
They could have got fired. They could have got yelled at. They could have got the everyday, the life, what happened. It's
Yeah.
affecting them. And then whenever they come in to get their son or their daughter, they're just ready to go home. They had their day over with. You know, everybody's entitled to bad days.
Yeah.
And then I usually measure how the parent comes in. Because honestly, if a parent is on 10, I'm not going to tell them what their child did.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I will uh, tell them later on that night. I'll, call them later on after they went home and had a calm, relaxing, But if I know they're on 10, I'm not going to tell on this kid and then send them home with this parent.
Yeah.
Because parents are human. And I just don't think, I think child providers, that's our responsibility to pick up on those keys.
I think that's what people forget for child providers and for parents, that they're just human, just like everyone else.
Yeah,
Um,
you're correct.
well, thank you, Shantae. You have been a big help. We have chose just to do a voiceover because uh, we that was one of the options, and that's what Miss Shantae chose. And thank you.
Thank you.